All right, what's up? What's up? Good morning and welcome back. Welcome back to another live session. OMER seems to be very good here early. Although a higher float, it's been moving up, stair stepping up, and it looks like it might even want to continue into the open. I would hope. I would hope this can continue into the open here. Tomorrow I'll be trading pre-market. It's been a good week and a half since I've last traded pre-market for various reasons. Today I'm ready to make my return, or let's say tomorrow, rather, I'll be making my return. So hopefully we can continue to see strong opportunities like this. I mean, despite the float for me doesn't mean anything as long as the stock can move up and be, predictable in a linear manner, right? Limited downside risk, good upside potential. And it seems like we've had some good patterns here, and the spreads have been tight. Looking at this, we're seeing 1240 by 1242, which is very important when it comes to keeping the risk tight on expensive stocks. So OMER looking decent. There's about 15 minutes to the open. Um, will it sustain this uptrend here? We have lows at 1137. I mean, if it is backside, that's fine. I would hope this can, lay down the foundation for some sympathy, momentum, something else to hit the scans, curl up, and give another move. So, looking at the watch list, this is definitely one of the top stocks here today. There's COOT as well, which I haven't looked at. This one is up 300%, 95 million shares of volume. And it started off in after hours, going from about 70 cents. Shout out to anyone who might have just been swinging this one here. I don't know if they might have been looking at it, but it's always nice to wake up and see this type of massive move. Although very unlikely, most small cap traders are usually just day trading, not really holding these cheaper stocks like this overnight, as the risk is out of this world. So COOT, it looks okay. It looks okay. It looks okay. We'll have to see if there's anything more, if we can hold up the VWAP here. VWAP currently at 391. We had highs of 509. I'm going to check out the daily chart. COOT. All-time highs. This one looks really good. Blue skies are in effect. And that peak level was 353 for COOT. I have it on the other screen here. COOT. Okay. All right. OMER back up to the highs. It's actually looking pretty interesting here. What I'm asking myself is if I want to take a trade here before the open, or do I want to continue to wait for the bell? High of the last 5 minute candle, 1243. Why why does this happen over and over? What's going on with my layout? I have to fix my layout here. Add selected, apply, okay, and then One sec. Okay, all right. Yeah, OMER, we'll see. 1166 was the previous, 1137 rather was the previous low. We'll see if it's able to consolidate in this range and hopefully continue and give us the move to 15 and 20. Today could be that day where we see another hot day, right? We saw one. What's it? Dang, my brain is just scrambling here. Is that last week or was that Monday? I think that might have been Monday. We had that hot move. Yeah, we had two really hot stocks. So, maybe today we see something else, right? So there's two uh COOT, OMER. Time 8 minutes to go. Also, yesterday I forgot to record my screen, which it's been twice this week. SDOT up 100 plus percentage with 11 million shares of volume. Volume definitely a little lighter. Started in after hours as well. It's like AQMS yesterday was looking like this, right? Looking terrible and looking like nothing is gonna happen, and then stock goes up to $30. So sometimes even when the chart is like this, a little wishy-washy, volume low, you still kind of have to show the respect and mark out the levels because sometimes you can get the red to green. And so far above 11 it's been holding for SDOT, so who knows? Maybe it does curl back up. I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong screen there. Jeez. Anyhow, at least we got a good look at the disclaimer for those of you on YouTube. Eagle, I appreciate it because if it wasn't for you, that would have been like that all day, brother. There's the screen recording alarm. The screen recording alarm. Remember our disclaimer, by the way, right? If you didn't read it, it was on screen for a while. Day trading is risky business. Do not get caught slipping here in these Wall Streets. SDOT. If you're new, you'd like small size, be patient, become competent before exposing yourself to a lot of risk. SDOT on the daily chart, we did hit the 200 EMA, which is at 1727 or so. Maybe it is backside. Maybe it is. Because that is definitely not coincidence. So if it does get back over that level, 2060 and then $23 are the next level. The next potential levels where we can fill some gap and potentially even see resistance. There's the mighty. The mighty is live in the chat room. GNPX. Looks okay. 200 EMA at 72. Over that level, room to one for GNPX. All right. I think that's the watch list there. Anything else pops up, then we'll catch it from the scans and or the chat room. Don't forget, if you're tuning in on YouTube, to hit the thumbs up. Also, if you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. We go live every day, every weekday morning around 9:15 a.m. to live stream our trades, which nobody else in this world does. So, time to get locked in. Now, pre-market has been fairly solid from what I'm seeing here. Historically, in the past, pre-market would determine the temperature of the open. These days, it doesn't mean anything. So even if pre-market is hot, doesn't necessarily mean we'll see good follow-through and a hot open. So as usual, small size first, looking to wait for something obvious and obviously strong, then to expose myself to the risk and take the trades, the setups that I know and love. Yesterday, that's exactly what we did. However, we did get caught in one of our favorite setups, and we took a big loss. So today, looking for the equal and opposite reaction if we're to see something strong. Right. Waiting patiently for the open here. I do want to remind myself that if, hold up, I got a few notes here. This is from Monday's session too. Time 1:30 to go. Be aggressive on front side. If there's a stock that's strong right away, gotta pedal to the metal, gotta step up, and not waste any time. Gotta trust the move early so that we can capture the front side push if there is one. If not, small side and sidelines. I gotta take every baby pullback. In terms of pullbacks, when we're backside, red candles on our larger time frame, that's where I want to wait for stocks to bottom out, give it the bear flag, and then approach the trade. If we don't see that, there's no need to be trying to catch a falling knife, because that's where the bigger losses can easily happen. On resumption trades, trade the setup, and then nothing more, nothing less, right? So dip and rips only. If we don't dip, no trades. There'll be too much risk. So with 30 seconds to the market open, it's another beautiful day. OMER, I'll watch into the open, and then I'll go from there. $11.50s have been holding for now. We'll see if it holds up into the open here as well. Not quite. We could see a vicious backside here into the open as well, so we got to be prepared for anything. I'm actually gonna miss that red to green there. Looking at the other stocks, we're back over 1150 for the 1 minute candle to make the new high. It looks like we might be pretty range bound here for now, which is fine. So we got to manage risk accordingly then. A decent looking red to green there for the 1 minute candle to make the new high to right back down. So as usual, the first 2 or 3 minutes can be a little choppy. If we're not seeing those opening surge, breaking the pre-market highs and, or red to greens going straight up. Really small size for me here to start. So we got SDOT, which is halted up. And then, let me see, GWAV. Not much on that one. GNPX, small red to green there. This one is halted up from, fairly low down. So volume, not that high either. So I'd stick to smaller size here unless it really gains that volume. Maybe halt up again. GNPX, cheaper stock, 50 cents, moving up. Although it doesn't really seem like it has that range. So, maybe being in with that longer hold time can be a little bit better here. So I'll be watching for a pullback trade. Time. There's a new candle on the bigger time frame. We got a minute for SDLT. GNPX, slow grind here. Slow grind now to 55 cents, 56 cents. Still waiting for a pullback to get in. 25 seconds to resumption. SDOT. This one, maybe it could be good. I would hope. If it gains volume. Small size, though, for me here. 1206. Okay. Good move to 65. Taking the dip. Will we see a rip? And there is only a flush. This is not promising here for this day. The dip and rip is the dip and depths. The dip and lower. Where is the momentum? Okay, GNPX is giving a nice pullback here. Switching back. I have it on the other screen. The dip and sell off. I'm along at 51. I'll have a stop at 50 here. I mean, VWAP is 49, but not looking for this to pull back too much here. The 5 minute candlestick is red, so I want to be tight on my stop. If it doesn't hold, I'll take the $40 stop here. Small size here as well. It's like we get a small uptrend. Will the first pullback hold up is always the question. If the pullback doesn't hold up, then a straight Christmas tree. COOT, switching over to this one. This might be the best one here so far. Damn. No shares to short for COOT. Would have been a nice scalp down there. I'm a little late to the show pulling this one up, but that's fine. How well can we continue curling up here? We had a nice move right here. I'm going to take this high starter here just to see if it holds high. Really small size. If not, looking to re-average. Looking to get my toes wet here to start the show. Okay. Looking to re-average. Our 5-minute candlestick is red. Can we hold up the previous lows at 410? We need one of these stocks to hold up. So far, so good. Our candlestick is pretty young, though, so it'll have time if it does have the buying behind it to recover. And maybe close green, or maybe even as a doji could be good, or at least a bottoming wick. Any signs of bullishness we can take? Any signs of bullishness? Still sticking to the small size for now. I'll size up the moment it starts to move well here once I get into a nice flow. What I want to see is like a rip to 30. And now I'll be watching the baby pullback here. Can we retest? Can we retest? It could give the breakout here. It's possible. Watching closely. If we can keep holding up 30, it's possible it tries for 40 and above. So watching for the breakout here, really. If not, it's back down again. So we had a bit of a bottoming wick there, but we're giving back some of that progress. So want to be careful, but watching. We need to see back over 30. Can we see back over 30? There's 18. It seems to be a higher low for now, which is not bad. There's 30 seconds left in the candlestick. So into this new 5-minute candle and the new 1-minute candle, will we be able to see the curl? The curl. Testing the lows, testing the lows. There's a lot of selling. It's going to come down. Can it reclaim, though? I'm going to take this. I'm going to add it, and I'm going to watch. Can we see 20, 25, 30? If we do, it should be a quick move. What's it going to be? 15, 17? I don't know. I mean, typically we'd see more than that. I'm trying to give it a chance, but okay, here's some more volume. 19. Man, that is interesting. Would have loved to see that push there. Maybe hidden seller 20. But the good news is we're back over 410. Oh, this freaking. Okay, all right, okay. And it had the look to it to go all the way, but we stalled out at 20. Could have took my 5-10 cents. I still think it's looking okay. It's looking all right. We ended up holding up the support after all. I'm gonna take the couple cents. I'll work it. I'm gonna work it for now. Just try to build up a couple $100, and then I'll still try to break out because for now it seems to be consolidating. Wanted the longer hold through 30, but there's a small bit here, but you know, not that huge. Watching. Oh, come on. Okay. It's you know, we're back below 10 again. SOGP and others hitting the scans. We need the stock to hold the line at 410. Hold the line. Struggling. Might be cooked. So if you didn't catch this first move here, these 3 minutes, and you're looking at something else, there's the move done already. Man. VPFAI, VERI. Bro, what is this? Like Monday, if you guys traded on Monday and you look back at the open on Monday versus today, like you can't even compare the momentum. Monday was, you know, special. We need the interest rates to go down lower some more. We need more bullishness, more money into the markets, into small caps. PFAI, is there something here? It is below VWAP right now. Right now, it's pretty much a flat day, and we're just taking it easy here. GNPX with a nice push there. Now, is this a one and done, or can we see something, you know? These penny stocks for me have been pretty tough. We've had a big move there, but it might not continue at that level of volatility. So still being in and trying to get a couple cents at a time might be the better way. Sometimes the quick scalps are no good if the stock isn't volatile enough. Pre-market highs are at 62. 659 to 67. Pretty impressive. The backside on this is definitely going to be brutal, so I'm hoping we can see an early pullback so I can jump in, give it some room to maneuver, and watch for the curl. If we can see a retest of the highs or even, maybe a little more, could be great. Well, can we see 61.5? How well can we hold up on the pullback here? If not, the 1 minute candle to make the new high will have to work. A lot of buying. And oh my god, my size. Jesus Christ. Oh no, no. Damn, that's cooked. Forgot to change my share size. Well, there's a waste of a good trade. Jeez Louise. The 1 minute candle to make the new high though, right? Bro, 65 to 68. I had no size, man. That's craziness. $72, I believe, was the 200 EMA. So it's close to resistance. It could push right through, but it could also reject. We got to watch the price action here. Damn, bro, that is so late. And I'm going to get cooked in it. Great, lovely. Poor trade. Is it already backside? Maybe. So the pullback here might not even hold up. It could end up washing all the way out. This is where I got to be careful though to not over trade or anything. Gotta wait for the bear flag. So we lost a cent and we made like 5 cents. But our share size on the first trade in the depths, 1,000 shares. Or what am I doing with my life here? Jesus Christ, why am I not in? I am watching the trade go by like a deadline here. Big Steve, maybe I'm cooked for the day, bro. Holy smokes. And then I have that, which is a hotkey error there. Yeah, I might be cooked for the day. I do like that the bear flag is holding up. We haven't had a new low yet. Jeez Louise, bro. Hold up, hold up. Let me lock in here real quick. It needs to clear 72. And it might. It has the look, but you know, will we be able to see it, pull it off? Man, what an easy freaking setup that I just let go by right there. The scalp trade 65, you know, you could only do so much if the move is not immediate. And that's that right there. We needed to do better to be in. Okay, it might be clearing the level here. 200 EMA, gap fill, and then potential room to one. Man, that was nice, man. Jeez. Lovely. Well, I think I'm officially washed here on this one because I allowed the beautiful setup to go without me. And the maybe pullbacks are not working here at the highs. Could be worth one more attempt, but the setup was to be in on the bear flag at like 62 and just riding the beautiful wave up 10, 15 cents unrealized, selling for sweet, sweet gains. That was the setup right there. Yeah, that was so clean, man. Like I saw what I needed to see. I just didn't pull the trigger. It's like a little too frustrating there. Not good. The 5 minute candlestick is gonna close, and we're kind of closing below this level of 72, so could be tricky. We need this new flag to make the new high here. To make the new high back over 73, and then if it has it in it, maybe it goes up to 78 again. Can we try again? Nope, it's coming down. False breakout on the 1. So the 1 minute candle to make the new high? No bueno. We still held up the support, at least for now. We're not really seeing a lot of stocks break down and reclaim as much these days. You know, let's see what it does here. Will we reclaim 70, 71? Or is that it? There's 70, taking the starter. And we're seeing 69, 69.4, 69, 68. Yeah, no reclaim. Yeah, the reclaims are like pretty dead these days. I'm surprised the other stock actually, when it broke down below 7, it got back to like 720. Man, this sweet, sweet setup. Sweet, sweet beauty of a double bottom. Sweet beauty of a double bottom. Hopefully a few of you guys got it. Just trying again. Although this time I think I'd wait for... I might wait 68. Actually, okay. Time, about a minute and 10 seconds left in the 5. Bro, these fills are out of this world as well. Like, anybody got the dip and rip there on SANA? Or are people now checking it out? Well, okay, okay, okay. All right, all right, all right. The resumption on the other one is a minute 27 seconds. I don't understand why this thing continues to change. Did it have to do with the I opened up my traveling trading setup. I wonder if that's why maybe my layout here has changed. Like certain settings. There's 38 seconds to SANA if it does resume here. It's a lower resumption. There is a small bounce, but not back over the whole dollar. So stepping back, I want to see you right over 6. Bro, fucking hell, man. Of course. Lovely, lovely. Bro, every time there's a volatile move to start an uptrend, it is back down. This one is just all about taking the dips and selling into the pop. If you know, just that's just what this one is. You know, it held up there again. You got to take that kind of a dip, and it's back up, right? Any quicker trades in between is just not it. It's just not it. It doesn't want to die though, which is good. It's like very resilient here towards the lows. So maybe it goes to 1. It might go to 1 eventually. Where are we on this day? But, Does it have what it takes? There's a halt at 02. No one big has sold yet. Will it continue into the halt up at 05? It needs to rip through the halt to the halt level. If not, could be trouble here once the pullback comes. No problem. Mother lover. Can we halt up here at 11? 13 now to halt up. We still haven't really seen selling pressure. We had a little bit at 97, but we haven't seen any selling pressure yet. Here's some more. Here's some more selling pressure coming in. 99. No one massive really sold yet, it seems like. Maybe just once, twice. Bro, this freaking thing, bro. It is. Do we have what it takes? Or do we need to pull back again? And I'll get to backside at some point. This could already be backside here. If it doesn't chase down the halt level again to 17. Lows were at 99 on the last pullback. Do not want to touch the backside of this. If it's done, that is it for me. This type of stock is just not good for my scalping at all. And then, in a trade where I did have the opportunity to pull the trigger to hold for 5-10 cents, I let the trade fly by like a deadline. Maybe just lack of confidence. I don't know, but I had all the signs I needed to jump in. So that one is on me for not taking the entry. Some fills were good, some fills were terrible. The usual, I suppose. Big Steve saying he's calling it. Jose saying no complaints. nothing burger on a stock like this is craziness, bro. At the end of the day, what I have to say is that if we're not green on a stock like this, there's no excuse. You know, everybody and their grandparents should be green on this stock. I don't care if the float is big. I don't care if it grinded up. You know, it just comes down to strategy, really. You know, is your strategy suitable for this type of stock or is it not? If it is, then there's no reason you're not mega green. If it's not, you know, you have trouble on a sweet stock like this. Anything that goes up with volume and pullbacks is a sweet stock. I don't care if it's even, you know, some chop in there. So in terms of strategy, you know, hyper scalping on this one, just not quite the best. Yeah, but I mean, the 5 minute setup that I needed was there to capture at least five to 10 cents full with my position. Didn't pull the trigger. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you just have to keep taking the trade until it fails. And when it fails, literally that's your cue to stop, right? If we look back at all these previous dips, every time this stock dipped, right? This is where confidence is important, right? In these pullback trades, every time the stock dipped down, it's like a double bottom, right? It never really breaks down. So if you're just confident to just say, hey, you know what? It's in this previous area, let me just pull the trigger. Before you know it, the stock doesn't break down. There's no need to stop out of the trade. Boom, 2-3 cents, 2-3 cents. And this happened, what, 10,000 times throughout this whole move. So, you know, in terms of not performing well, you got to look at yourself first and say, where did you go wrong? What did you not do that you needed to do? So as I'm looking back at the chart here, it's very obvious that I had zero confidence in most of these dips to just jump in and say, hey, let me just give this thing a chance. Zero confidence. And it's crazy because yesterday, right, on a stock like this, the risk is like 1 to 2 cents. Yesterday on a dip and rip, my risk was like $10 a share, and I still jumped in, no problem, right? What is the difference? Ah, man. So, you know, trading can be so mental, right? It's all in your head. Even though I'm not trading longer hold times most of the times, it's still very obvious what needs to be done, which I mentioned twice, 3 times throughout the day. Okay, this one is better to hold a little longer, try to get that bigger move, right? Which means like a slightly wider stop in the support, maybe like a cent and a half, 2 cents. And that alone would have worked out beautifully, giving this thing a chance, right? And then, but it starts to feel like you're fighting against your nature almost when a stock like this is moving, and you're so used to just being in and out so quickly. But again, you know, a better version of myself can just flip that switch right away, which is to, hey, today's a day where I need to hold a little longer, even though I'm a quicker trader. This should be 1, 2, 3 ABC to switch that mindset on a stock like this. Instead, I fumbled this move. There's no way, bro. There's no way. Like, this shouldn't happen. This type of stuff should never happen. I don't care who you are as a trader. We can all be better. I can become more than I am today. Jeez Louise, man. And then I got a little quiet because it's like, okay, I'm trying to force myself into taking these trades, and then we do ended up getting more of an uptrend. So we're able to make back something here with the quicker trades. But what I'm noticing for myself at the front side is that a lot of the moves are not really giving the micro trades, and or let's say the micro trades are not like as wide for the pullback. It's very tight in some areas, and you know, part of that is why I'm not as confident to jump in. It's like I'm thinking all the time there should be more of a dip here, even if it's like a half a cent to a cent for a stock like this. And before you know it, you're like hesitating to jump in over and over. They in the chat room held it down for us. They holding it down. I think it's backside, and there's no more upside here. And this is going to more than likely fizzle out and sell off the rest of the day. Sometimes, if we're lucky, maybe it goes up in after hours or later. But what more do we need than the first 2 hours there in this move to already capitalize? Over one, there was something there too. Damn, look at my computer, bro. It's time for a new computer. This drawing tool doesn't even work. My RAM and my CPU is maybe at 100% capacity here. Just like how the new iPhone came out, my iPhone from 2 years ago not working well anymore all of a sudden. I wonder what it could be. I wonder what that could be. Do they send out like updates and then, kind of crash your phone a little bit? Crash the current device or the previous device? Forcing you to upgrade. Well, it's a flat day here for me. The trading this month definitely been a little bit better though. Although we need to eliminate any weaknesses like lack of confidence tomorrow. I had this issue 2 weeks ago on a Wednesday. And then that Thursday was the day that I ended up not streaming. And then we missed 2 streaming days today. We had the tree cutting thing, I think last week. Maybe 3 days. We might have missed 3 days. I don't know. Maybe 2 days? Was it 2 days? Yesterday or the day before that was technical difficulties. But I think this will do it here for me. Definitely a little frustrated, but definitely a learning opportunity. We do have the screen recording to go back. It'll be a little bit cringe for me because it's going to be so painful to watch the whole thing. But through the pain will be resolve and the opportunity to be better on a future day where there's a similar stock, because there will be one, whether it's tomorrow, next week, next month. So we have to study up, save this in our memory banks, and be ready to go for next time. Which is the silver lining for any time you don't do as well as you would like, is that you can review, and then in the future you can, put yourself to the test in trying to make the improvements and the adjustments based off of what you saw. So, every area is always a lesson, even if you don't, even if you do get the results as well, sometimes you can still learn something. So there's my silver lining, is that in a month from now, a week from now, when the same type of stock comes again, because it will the future RT be better to make something, even if it's $200 or 500, 600, 800, what, any amount that is improvement versus the nonsense of red $4 here. So I look forward to the opportunity. I look forward to the challenge of improving. I wouldn't even really say it's a challenge, it's a formality. as long as we do what needs to be done behind the scenes, which is to study up. So tomorrow again, so we take this glasses and throw it against the wall. This is as frustrated as you guys will usually see me get. There's this cool, calm frustration here. IRBT. Is there something here? If I'm ever more frustrated than this, then I have lost my cool. And it'll be time to shut it down. Okay, this one... I don't know. When a stock moves up these days, like, it's not as obvious as it used to be. Like, it looks okay on the chart, but, you know, will we see something here? Will this turn into something? You know, as in, like, break of 615, 620 over time. We had a beautiful flag here and a breakout with high of day volume, which is typically all the things we like to see for a stock that's going to hit the scanner. But it's like the volume is not the same these days. Like, you know, if we have a stock pushing 300,000 shares, a 1 minute candle at $5, typically in the past, it would mean, you know, opportunities. Like looking at this one, it's looking like kind of dead. Like slow moving. Maybe there's a higher float as well. All right, guys. Take care. Stay safe. Stay green. El Pastor shutting it down. Flat day. Flat day. Tomorrow I'll trade the pre-market session as well. I'll be here for 6:59, 7 a.m. market time. For those of you in the chat room, I'll see you guys around that time tomorrow. Can I leave it with a poem? I'm checking on the YouTube site here. Can I leave with a poem? This one is kind of lame that I thought of. Well, I don't know. Yeah, this one that I thought of is kind of lame. I'm looking at some more comments here. Looks like there was a lot of call outs and some conversations maybe. Oh my god. Uh okay, my brain isn't really firing off for a good poem here, so we might have to shut it down. All right, yeah. Maybe I'll think of something for tomorrow. I'll catch you guys. What a terrible day of trading this was. I grade myself here a D minus. Just not good. We did a good job in terms of managing risk early in the day, like not using size, making sure to wait for something to look good. We're just throwing out like 50 shares just to see if something would hold up. You know, we lost like $30, which is, you know, not anything, but once we did end up getting a good stock, we made a mess of it, right? Not pulling the trigger, not having the confidence in some key areas to give the stock a chance, and a lot of frustration throughout the move, seeing the stock go and not being in. And like a vicious cycle mentally of not being in where I would want to be in to capture the move. So D minus, terrible trading. Tomorrow we need to aim for A plus. and extra credit on top of that. All right, take care, stay safe, stay green. I'm still the people's champion because even on a day like this where I trade like trash, I'm still showing up every day. I'm still showing up every day, despite going insane sometimes. Only to a degree. I say that jokingly, but only to a degree. I'll never really let myself go too far in frustration because then that's where you can really like go off rail and then your account can become vulnerable. That type of, insanity we don't want to ever visit. So we'll be careful to keep ourselves in check. However, you know, when you don't do well, whether you're trading in front of people or by yourself, you're going to be upset, right? That's just the nature of it. So I'm keeping it real, but we need to keep it real good with our trading so that keeping it real, is done in style, if that makes any sense, right? We got to keep it real with ourselves and do a better job with our trading so that in front of the people here, it's a little bit more stylish and clean, not the mess of today. All right, later. I'm talking too much. Catch you guys next time.